Hey everyone, I'm Tom from MoveEd. Today we're going to be going through how to tape an ankle. The equipment that you'll need is some pre-cut pieces of fixie. We're using 50mm rigid tape and then a nice overwrap to finish off with. Now this is our standard taping. You can use more or less tape depending on what the athlete wants and depending on what the injury is that you're treating. So we're going to start with our fixie here, have the athlete dorsiflex, and then peel back the backing of the tape, which can be easier said than done depending on the brand that you're working with. And we're going to lay this tape over the prominent anterior ankle joint tendons to protect them from the subsequent layers. And we do want to try and avoid them where we can, but this is an added piece of protection. And this taping today, we're going to demonstrate some heel locks as well. So another common source of tape cuts, and that's what we're doing this to prevent, with a heel lock, is going to be over the Achilles. So yet again, just laying that down as some protection. And it's worth knowing when you're taping someone if they have an allergy to adhesives or tapes in the past, in which case I would cover the entire taped area with a fixie or a light covering as well. Now onto the ankle tape itself. We're going to start with an anchor at the top. And you want to try and respect the boundary to which the player may have pre-shaved their leg if possible. But you want to make sure that you're well above the ankle joint and the malleoli, but giving yourself some leverage to work with by not being, or by being well away. So after we have that anchor placed down, with 50mm, for most people you can get away with doing 2 stirrups. And you want to do these in a crisscross fashion so that you can stay nice and close to the calcaneus and not risk pinching on some of the plantar nerves and causing the patient discomfort or causing them to cramp. So you can't see it in film, but on this side I've started more towards the back, and this stirrup is actually hooked around more to the anterior surface. And then, as I mentioned, it's like a crisscross pattern, and I make sure that the stirrups here have completely covered the malleolus, but I haven't taken up too much room on the plantar surface of the foot. Okay, so we've got our taping anchor, 2 stirrups. The next step is going to be the figure of 6. Make sure that the player is nicely dorsiflexed and holding that position. Now for me it's important how the tape looks, so I like to lay it down and keep it in position as soon as possible. And whenever you want to make a turn in tape, you pinch at the base of the turn, hook it around from there, and then lay it across. And you can see here, some people will teach you not to do this, but this is why we protect with the pre-tape. We are coming across those ankle tendons slightly. And as mentioned, this is just a standard taping. You can do more or less depending on the needs of the athlete or their injury. And quite a few people will tell you what they need, how many 6s they like in each direction, do they want heel locks or not. And you can always have some trial and error throughout the season if you're working with the same players as well. Okay. Figure of 6 done. On to the more complicated part, which is the heel lock. So for a heel lock, I'm starting above the malleolus, and we'll do one in each direction. So above the malleolus, swinging that tape down, still just above the malleoli on the other side. Lots of tension on the tape as you're laying this down to prevent any excessive creases. Yet again, pinch technique, roll that along. So that's heel lock number 1. And then the same on the other side. So start above the medial malleolus on this occasion. Have plenty of length in the tape. Hold tension, that helps to stop creasing. And yet again, we're working with that pinching technique every time we go around a corner to help us facilitate that movement. And then same there. And that is the standard tape that I would do for most people. And then depending on what they're feeling comfortable with, if I want something really nice just to finish off, we'll grab some elastic adhesive bandage. So this is 75mm EAB, and I like to overwrap just with a heel lock type pattern. Same again, lots of pinching, avoiding too many creases. This tape's quite light, so it's unlikely to give them irritation. And I can do that continuously just as an overwrap on the top. That just holds everything together nice and firm, gives the athlete that you're working with a little bit more support. And then a final lock, which I like to start from the back and just watch how the tape naturally wants to contour to the person's ankle. Because it's a cone shape, I don't want it to come around and match up at the top because that will give me uneven pressure. All right, that's how we tape an ankle.